Better bring up the script here.
What's up, everybody?
I don't even have my notepad. I ain't ready.
Oh, nobody's ready for anything, but we're
Nobody's
live.
ready.
Can we push this? Can we push this in a half hour?
Push it real good. I want to say hey to Matt Passo, who's already in the chat.
Do you have tools, Jared?
I do.
See,
I have
Matt's ready.
tools.
We're not ready. How can Matt be ready and we're not ready?
Welcome, everybody. We got to do a Longbox Crusade, a classic Longbox Crusade recording today. Everyone's getting ready. Delvin's getting his notebook. Pat's getting the script up, taking the pants down.
I forgot how to mess around.
I'm taking to the X so I can retweet our streamage. I guess it's repost now. Anyway, to push our streamage. So people will stop by, pop in, say hello. Hey, you know what? While I'm doing that, I encourage anybody who's already here. I'm saying hey to Matt Passo. Some guy named Damon Crumley.
Who the
we've
hell is
never heard of before.
No.
We have
Mr. Crumley.
idea who that is.
None.
That's a Nazi reference right there.
I know, Pat. Mr. Crowley.
Well, hey, if you guys got it streaming on your social medias, if you do a share while we're getting prepared, we'd appreciate it.
Like, share. Hit that.
Share that video that we're currently streaming that we have, no organization to whatsoever.
I showed up like.
What if that is the organization that we actually have?
I mean, it basically is.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say it's never really been better than this, so whatever.
Like they say, showing up is 9/10 of the law. Pretty sure that's what the saying is.
Sure.
Yeah, go with that.
I'll tell you what, I'll get the screen layout ready, and I will bring in today's comic.
Hi, Eric Porter.
Eric Porter, yay!
There. Now I got the comic ready. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
It's nice.
All right. I will let everybody
twice.
What? Huh?
It's nice. You should display it twice.
That's right. I will let everybody know that we will not be joined by Jason the Weasel Skull on this episode. He's on his honeymoon.
He's with his lady friend.
That's right. So what up, Eric, Matt, Damon Crumley, and Kathy, our MVP, all here. Hey, thanks, Matt. Matt just shared it on the blue skies for us.
Thank you, Matt.
Now, if someone could share it on the yellow skies, then I think it automatically posts to green skies. It's a color combination joke.
You better check the color wheel on that just to make sure.
I'll check and see.
Yeah.
Oh, Auburn Elvis is here.
Wheel check in a long time.
Oh, hey, Auburn,
Hey.
I think some, without saying too much, I think someone's just trying to up their odds.
That's not gonna.
So I'll leave it at that. Anyways.
Because some people on the X watching as well, so go ahead and the X, give us a shout out.
Yeah, it never hurts to say hello in the chat because then you get entered for the raffle prize. You know what? I'll take this opportunity to grab some raffle prizes. I got a bunch right under here in this box. Oh man, there's so many. We need people to win some stuff. Oh gosh,
The people to sign up.
Yeah,
in the chats, whether it's on.
Man, I got loose comics. I got action figures. I got movies, DVDs.
DVDs.
You got nuts?
All right, just making sure that didn't get by. All right, I got trade paperbacks. Copy of Hustler. Oh, never mind.
He meant like the hustle of like getting
Hustle and Flow. It's a DVD copy of Hustle and Flow.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. I don't know if that's better.
I don't know. But anyways, if you guys are ready, I guess we can get into it. Got anything for the group before we start? No? All right. I'll remind you guys at the end too. We'll be back live again on Wednesday for the super secret people.
Super secret.
That are our Crusaders Club members via patreon.com. I've got the banner going there. If you want to join us on Wednesday, it's going to be Pat and I doing a double dose of G.I. Joe as we do. We're going to be covering America's Elite number 11, along with the 25-cent Hunt for Cobra Commander special that came out at the same time, and Special Missions 11. That's Wednesday night, and the super secret chat link will be sent to the Patreon page. So for 99 cents a month, you can join.
Yeah. If you read it and I read the 25 cents and you read the 25 cents, does that make it 50 cents?
Sure.
Go.
Go, Cristados. It's your birthday. Party like it's his birthday. Sip Bacardi like it's his
It's your
birthday.
birthday.
But you know, we don't give a.
Well,
It's not your birthday.
My mouth full of salmon and rice. I couldn't.
You can find me in the club.
This is the quality you get here, people. We weren't ready, but we did have salmon and rice on it.
I'm hungry. I'm sorry.
And I will answer a question in the chat from Auburn Elvis, and thanks for letting me run my mouth about it. He says, when is Joe Lanta, which is my next public appearance if you want to come see me as the yard sale artist. Joe Lanta is the last weekend of this month. So essentially 2 weeks from now will be the last day of Joe Lanta. Anyway, the last weekend of September. It is technically it's in Duluth, just north of Atlanta. But if you're in the Atlanta area and you want to come to a really good G.I. Joe toy show and chat with me for a bit, I'll be there.
I forgot there was a Duluth in Georgia. I was like, you're going to Minnesota?
No.
Yeah. I was like, what?
So
What?
Like I've been to Duluth, Minnesota before. Like, you know, I just ride hard in the paint for Duluth. You know what?
You know what? You've always championed Duluth, Minnesota.
Don't give me no map. You already know.
Well, anyways, to answer his question specifically, it is the 27th and 28th of September. Joe Lanta, come see me or buy Joe's. There's a good lineup of folks there, by the way. Larry Hama's going to be there. Ron Rudat, who did like all the original character designs, is going to be there. The voice of Storm Shadow from the cartoon is going to be there. The voice of Firefly / Spirit's going to be there. So it'll be a good time. Good times. All right.
Little known fact, Jared, I was the voice of Snake Eyes.
And a darn good job you did.
I'm doing it right now.
I was watching one of these guys on Instagram. He's posting reels about being a Gen X dude. And he was like, Snake Eyes. Didn't say anything. Just F'd S up. Of course, he didn't censor himself. And he goes, and that was a role model. I was like, yeah, it was. Oh, man. Don't ask Delvin what mode of transportation you need to get there. That's live from the chat. He's a hovercraft. I don't know. Hovercraft's always a good guess.
Hover what?
Nah, never mind. All right, let's do a show. I went to click record. I went to click record to do a show. And it's already recorded because we're live.
Well-oiled machine, baby.
Well-oiled machine. Here we go. All right, I'm going to get us started. Pat, you got anything else? We're going to roll?
No, it's just, on the YouTube, I'm looking at, we got some top fans. They're giving out some crowns and all that. So right now, top fan is the Serpy Matt. Kathy's in second. Auburn Elvis is in third. Mm-hmm. And Eric Porter is in fourth. They got
we love it.
Points. So cool.
Look at you guys.
I'm going to get in the chat so I can get some points.
We love you guys. We love you guys for being here. So we owe you a show. So we're going to do one. So we are going to start one. We're going to do a live recording of a Longbox Crusade. We're pretty far ahead on these, by the way, folks. Pat and I were talking behind the scenes. I think we just released like 50 or 51, I think, Pat, and 50. This is 55. So this won't go public as a podcast for a while.
A year.
Yeah, it might be a year. Yeah. It might be because we do these get the original Longbox kind of gets dropped about every other month or so. So you got the good news is for those of you who are watching live, you will not remember it, but it's the podcast feed. So there is that. All right, I'm gonna get started for real. Longbox Crusade podcast. Here we go. You're listening to the Longbox Crusade podcast, episode 55, featuring Batgirl Special number 1, cover dated 1988. Hello and welcome to the 55th episode of the Longbox Crusade. I am Jared Albrick, the yard sale artist, aka Death Probe. And you know what? If this is your first time joining us, welcome. The original Longbox Crusade, which you're listening to right now, is a podcast where each episode of random cover month and year is chosen, and then an issue is selected from one of the Longbox Crusade crew members' comic collection. It's pretty alliterative. Each episode, we will summarize, review, and reminisce about the issue, the ads, and the events of the time period when this came out. Okay, guys. Joining me is two of my usual three. Jason the Weasel Skull Albrick is on his honeymoon. And he will be
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon. That's right.
I felt that you paused, even if it were like unintentional.
No, I understand. It needed to be done in that cadence. Thank you, Benicio del Toro, via License to Kill. Kill. This time around, I'm going to do a quick hitter question for the two guys that are here as we introduce them. We are covering Batgirl Special number 1, which I bought in 1988 off the spinner rack in Germany, Stars and Stripes bookstore, because I thought it had an awesome cover, and I still believe that. So the question I'm going to ask you guys is, have you ever bought a comic off the spinner or the shelf because it had an awesome cover and you're like, I'm just going to try it? I'll give you a minute to think about it. Chat, folks in the chat, because this is out to a live audience right now, so we're going to be hearing from people in the chat. Has that ever happened to you? Some cover that was just so awesome you had to go for it. So Delvin looks like he has a mild amount of confidence. I'm going to pass it to him first.
That's pretty much life, Jared. Mild amount of confidence.
Even when you shouldn't have any, it's still there. Anyway,
I should have more. It's like, we need someone 6'3". Like, I guess that's me. I don't know. Anyway, I guess Transformers, right? As I've told the story quite a few times, I was at the drugstore looking for something to spend my money on, and it wasn't a spinner rack, but one of those mounted racks that had the comic books on it. And
no jokes for that.
Right. And so I'm sitting there looking, and I saw a picture of like Optimus Prime getting blowed up on Transformers 24 and was like, what? Picked it up. Next thing I know, I'm reading comic books. Fast forward about 40 years later, right? So
you're a huge comic fan, a huge Transformers fan. You host your own podcast about Transformers, and all start because fill in the blank drew a really good cover.
Oh, I think it was Herb Trimpe.
Yeah, that original one, or what issue was it?
Transformers 24. I will look
24.
it up just to verify, but I'm pretty sure it was a Herb Trimpe cover.
Nice. Let's go to Pat. Pat Sampson joins us for another episode of Longbox Crusade, which he founded.
Ooh, the original. This is
OG. It doesn't get more OG than this.
Man.
Shout out to Doc Strange, who just entered the chat. Doc Strange, the current discussion is comic covers that were so good you just bought it because the cover was great. Pat, what do you got?
Oh man, there's so many that I think of, but it's hard for me to really come down and narrow it down. Was it the G.I. Joe one that got me in? It could be.
What issue was that?
Was it number 2? Was it number 1?
One of those very, very early ones. Then.
Very, very early ones. I guess Spawn, cover number 1.
Hard to resist that cover.
And that I would continue on with that one for quite a long time to continue on carrying on with that series, pulling me in that. Because you know what? I didn't know what to expect out of that one, and it turned out to be a pretty decent series for me back in that time.
Well, let's check in with the chat, man. Mine's Batgirl, number 1. Check in with the chat. Matt Passo said, for me back in the 90s, it was All That Way. Issue of Fantastic Four with the new team. I remember this. Ghost Rider, Spidey, Wolverine, and Hulk was the Fantastic Four there for a while. And I mean, how could you not love it? In fact, it was Gray Hulk, if I remember correctly, during that time. I may be wrong. Maybe it was green. My memory says it was gray. Anyway, Auburn Elvis says, Batman Family number 13. It's a pretty baller cover of Batgirl and Robin being defeated by the Outsider. Interesting. Props from Eric Porter for saying this is a good question. Appreciate it. Jim Meal says Dark Hawk number 1, his first superhero comic that he picked up, and I think Jim just scored a Dark Hawk one and sent it to me. So I think the only issue I'm missing now is the last issue. So thank you, Jim. Public thanks for my full run of Dark Hawk is almost complete. Kathy says, I own a big run of Blade the Immortal for this exact reason, which is true. And I was there. I was there when it happened. We were Ben Diamond, where she got the quasi nickname Short Box because they're set up on a shelf that's a little too high. She can't reach the back of them, so she has to pull the box way out. So Shag and I started calling it short box, but she really loved the cover art. She said, these look really great. And then she found a huge run of them. And I think they were doing them for like $5 for $1 or something like that. 4 for $5, but I can't remember. But she got a good deal on it. Jason King says Avengers West Coast number 32 pulled me in a bunch of Avengers climbing up an unknown creature's hair. It's so silly and awesome. Kind of sounds like what's that video game, Pat? Where all you do is fight giant bosses and you climb them. Shadow of the Colossus. It's called Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay. Yeah.
Great game if you've never played. Let's see. Eric Porter said, because I enjoy comics, I have to say my answer to be Marvel Tales 229 and the Batman movie adaptation were the first comics I ever purchased. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Kathy's got another one. And of course, my Archie comic I bought strictly because it had a Duran Duran Rio cover. I remember, I think she got that at a Heroes Con a couple of years ago. Very nice. Good answers, all. Thanks for playing along in covers that made you want to buy the book. If you're not in our live chat for this live stream that we're doing, we still invite you to be part of the show by you can still submit comments and memories, which we will feature on a future episode. Reach out to us on social media at Longbox Crusade, and you can always leave a voicemail at 707-532-5269, 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the cover.
Pick it up. We hope you come along on our journey to read them all. Now, before we get started with this episode's issue review, let's take a quick podcast promo break, and we will be right back. This gets entered in post, everyone. So, Courtney Holland boldly proclaims she is Batgirl.
Yeah.
And also to remind everyone to pick up the phone. Thank you, Courtney. Courtney, a lot of love going out from us to you. Courtney's had a tough couple of weeks, and I'm glad to see you here in the chat, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.
Thanks for joining us, Courtney. And thanks for everybody joining us on the X as well. We can see some members out there. Go ahead and get in the chat. Just like
stop by and say hello.
Doc Strange did.
Yeah, Doc Strange said, hey, and now he might just win the raffle today. And I don't think I didn't know it's Jason King popping in with his cover. So it's nice to see you too, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Our pleasure, Courtney. Our pleasure. Thank you for your unending support. We have the coolest chat.
We do. We have a chat within the chat. And
we have a chat within the chat. It's being very nice to Courtney, which is very nice to see. All right, we will come back from the break. Welcome back from the break. Today's adventure from the long box is Batgirl Special number 1, dated 1988. Here are the credits for the issue. It's published by DC. Its cover date 1988. On sale date was March 22nd, 1988. Cover price was $1.50. Editor was Denny O'Neil. The writer was Barbara Randall, who ended up marrying Carl Kessel. So now she's Barbara Kessel. So if you know of Barbara Kessel, this is her before she got married.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to drop some fun facts in the middle of this. I did a little research on her.
What?
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Careful, Jared. Careful.
Watch out. Everybody calm down.
Bonus. Bonus.
I did a little research on her, and what she did is, I think when she was finishing college, she wrote it like a 10-page essay and sent it to Dick Giordano, who I think was running DC at the time, with her thoughts on female superheroes and how they're portrayed. And he liked it so much that he brought her in and had her write, I think it was a backup story or two in Detective Comics. And they thought she did well enough to make her an editor. And again, that she married Carl Kessel, and like the rest is history. She's just a longtime creator, and all started because of the little essay that she wrote and sent to Dick Giordano. So,
that's very cool.
Pretty cool. All right, back to the credits. This was penciled by Barry Kitson, who I've always liked, by the way. Lettered by John Costanza. And the colorist is Carl Gafford.
The Gaff.
I'm sorry. You're right. It's I'm sorry. Carl Gafford. I said Gafford.
The Gafford.
Carl Gafford. It's not Glynis, but
it's Gafford.
I mean,
he's covering the gaff.
All right. Anyway, this has been reprinted in Batgirl Celebration of 50 Years hardcover from 2017 and Batgirl The Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 2, which was hardcover in 2019. Cover credits. This may be where love blossomed, ladies and gentlemen. The penciler is Mike Mignola, but the inker is Carl Kessel. And man, That cover is sweet. We'll get to that. In fact, it's time for me to describe the cover. So let me do that. That beautiful DC Bullet logo is black with white highlights. The Batgirl title font is orange with a fading effect going from dark to light from top to bottom. Block tab-like letters drop from the top of the cover, spelling out special. The main image is striking and simple. As longtime comic readers have come to expect from Mike Mignola, it's Batgirl busting through a window in a dark room as glass shards from that window fly everywhere. Interesting side note, by the way, for those of you watching, the cover is very blue. I've noticed in my actual copy, purple. Especially when I'm talking about, like, especially across the top where it says special. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, maybe they changed
just,
it.
you know, digital color and all
yeah,
that.
digitally.
This is, you know, I've had this since 1988. So you know, there's probably some color change going on there. All right. Let's find out what we thought about the cover. People in the chat, you are more than welcome to give your thoughts on the cover while we hear from Pat.
Oh, all right. Well, I really like this cover, and I can definitely tell why it was appealing to you. Just the composition of it all, and I think what really stands out is the squareness of the window with the, you know, the black on the outside. You get that little. My eye is drawn to that square of the window, and
it focuses the energy real well.
Yeah, and her, you know, busting through that. I like how, looking towards the bottom of it, you see a little bit of the bat shadow.
Yes.
Right at the bottom. And, you know, I've always have a warm spot for a lot of these 80s and early 90s stuff where the title stuff that they do, because this is special like that. Or when they would do crossover series and all that, they'd have those special titles and things like that, so you can know that there was something special going on with that issue. I like it. This is really well drawn and colored.
I'm not going to argue with you, Pat. I liked it so much I picked it up off the spinner rack. I mean, this is, I've told the story before how this is just when Jason and I were getting into DC, and we were given. In fact, if you listen to my Batman on VHS nostalgia talk, I talk about how that led to this. And there was certainly I think there was a certain amount of Batmania already beginning to build here in 1988. Easy, Delvin.
Delvin, die on mute.
I think it said it was released or cover dated or released March of 88, which means we didn't get it in Germany until probably May. So we're about a year out from Batman. I think the buzz is starting to buzz already. Real quick, checking with the chat that we're going to get Delvin's thoughts here. Doc Strange said, I've seen that Batgirl before, but didn't pull the trigger. Awesome cover for sure. Unrelated, Jason King said, don't know if it was brought up. Jared did a great job with Shag on the Star Wars comic over. That was an episode on the Fire and Water that came out today or yesterday, where I was the guest on his From Empire to Jedi. Go check it out. It was fun. It was called Fact Checker Fancy Pants by Courtney. That's correct. About Barbara Kessel. She wrote some great books for CrossGen back in the day. This is Jason Keene. Fantastic writer, so I know it's going to be good. And I think who else? Auburn Elvis says, I like the cover. Batgirl looks good. And I can't disagree, but we got to hear from Delvin. There's more about him, but we're going to get Delvin and we'll come back to the chat.
I feel like I can't have the full enthusiasm that y'all have about it. And the audience, I guess I feel like I'm just completely, I was like, not saying it's bad, because it's not. Like, I like it. Like, if anything, what I like the most is the coloring and the simplicity of the costume. Simple's often good, right? Because you want something, like, as an artist, that's iterative. Like, you don't have to every single time draw all these ridiculously complex things. And so you've got a redhead with, yellow gauntlets and yellow boots and a yellow emblem, and, like, is that a black costume or blue or dark blue? Either way, it stands out, and so she's coming like, yeah. And so it is good. Like, do not get me wrong. I do like it. And it definitely is dynamic as well. So, like, I like the cover. Like we don't rate things here on the original Longbox Crusade. Like we did the 1 through 5 thing, I'd probably be 1 behind everyone else. Like, you know, you guys would be, you know, well, Jared would be 5 and Pat might be a 4 to 5-ish. And I would be like that strong 3. I threw the ratings in there anyway, even though we don't have the ratings. But it is a dang good cover, and it is a striking cover. And I appreciate the simplicity of the Batgirl, the simplicity and the iterativeness of the Batgirl costume.
Follow-up question, Delvin. Do you tend to like Mignola's work? Do you think this is a weaker Mignola, or is he just not the guy for you?
Man, back in the day, I wouldn't have appreciated it as much as I do now. Like, because you remember, like I said years ago, like when I collected tons of Sal Buscema, Spectacular Spider-Man, but wasn't a huge fan of his artwork. And then I go back and I'm like, yeah, nah, I was dumb. Because he draws dynamic and simple and much, and that isn't easy.
It's not. I've tried.
Like it's simply not easy, and so my 13-year-old completely brainy nerdy as opposed to artistic nerdy. Like I just completely didn't understand it, and now I at least, even though I'm still more brainy nerdy than artistic, I at least have an understanding of it now. To know that like if you can pull off simplistic or simple and dynamic, you are an amazing artist. So like that's where I am on Mike's art. I wouldn't have appreciated it as a teenager. I would definitely appreciate it more now.
Yeah, that sounds respectable to me. Very Tim Sale I put in this category. He's another guy who can do a lot with a little.
The Daredevil guy. Who's the Daredevil guy?
Oh yeah. Samney. Chris Samney.
Yeah.
Incredible with the same. Yes.
I think Delvin's kind of right. Like even back then when I was in these 80s like that collecting, I was more collecting for the story and the hero than collecting for the artist. And as you got to collect more and see different art, your eye would start to realize what you liked more or appreciate the work that they were doing, you know, beyond just the story writing.
Well said, my friend. Going back to the chat, Courtney said, do they still make Batgirl? I definitely want to own one of these. Well, I might be able to help you out with that, Courtney. We'll see. But this, as you will learn as we go on today, Courtney, this is kind of the last of the Barbara Gordon Batgirl stories, and you'll soon see why. So to get this specific Batgirl, you would have to go to 88 or earlier. But I'm going to tell you something right now. The Batgirl Cassandra Cain series that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s, incredibly good. I don't know what they're doing with Batgirl these days because I'm an old man and I just read old comics. But as far as I'm concerned, they haven't done a bad Batgirl series. Jason Keene locks into something that I forgot to mention about my love for this cover. I like her hair. It looks so fiery and it adds an energy. And he says it reminds me how Batwoman would be depicted years later with the fiery red hair. I see it. Doc Strange says her waist and right quad are a little wonky. Otherwise, I say 4 out of 5. To that, I say Mignola. Let's see. Matt Passo says the great cover. Love the crashing through effect. My super small nitpick would be that I'd like to see the rope she swung in on trailing behind. That's not bad. Oh, correction. Left quad from Doc Strange. And the answer is still Mike Mignola. Let's see. Let me see anything. Let's see. Kathy says she loves it. 11 out of whatever the number is. The colors pop so good off all black. I agree. Batgirl logo with the subtle points on the B. Oh, yeah, the B in Batgirl. Yes. Very cool. Courtney says she loves it and would definitely buy this. It's a 10. Pat said she is quote unquote busting through the window, kind of a tee-hee-hee comment.
I don't get it. I don't understand what that means.
I don't get it either.
You're too young, Delvin. You're too young.
I don't get it either.
13-year-old me wouldn't get that joke, but never mind.
A lot of Batgirl chat going on, which we've kind of covered. The chat is taking care of itself once again. You guys are awesome. I'll add, Doc Strange adds, Prime Lou Ferrigno would be jealous of that quad. Hey, Batgirl does not skip leg day,
Leg day.
sir. Okay, guys, that is the cover. Good chat. Good chat. Maybe the best cover chat we've ever had. What's the key? No Jason. Moving on.
Ooh, wow.
Okay, guys, this is the story. It's time to get into the story, and I'm told that Delvin the Dark Web Williams has got that under control.
Yeah, I have it under control. I have options, Jared. I have options.
I
Oh,
like it. I like it.
There is either the AI option,
Pat GPT.
and the Pat GPT, or I could give you the one that I created myself. Which one would you rather have?
I feel like they're the same, but I'm always interested to see what you have to say, sir.
They're not. They are not. Like there was integrity in that process. I tell you, I'm honestly okay. Here's mine. The title of this issue is "The Last Batgirl Story." Here's the definition of cormorant, by the way, because I'm just going to assume that people don't know what the heck cormorant meant.
I did not.
I did not. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for pronouncing it for me too.
Yeah. Dictionary.com has it as cormorant. Cormorant. Any of several voracious seabirds of it says the family name, like that big long group. Like, I'm not reading that. It's a voracious seabird of America, Europe, and Asia, having a long neck and a distensible pouch under the bill for holding captured fish, used in China for catching fish. There's a second meaning, and that is a greedy person. So there you go, cormorant. And I'm assuming I'm not the only one who didn't know what that meant, so that's why I gave it to you. And so, I mean, basically, Batgirl hounded this dude, Cormorant, who outsmarted her like years ago until he actually did something wrong. That was the main point of the book. There was a serial killer in there, Slash, but we didn't figure out who that was.
Still bothers me to this day.
I suspect it was Marcy, the blonde chick.
That's what I thought too.
I never heard of, but came out of nowhere. I mean, I've seen shows like Psych on the USA Network where the guest star usually is the one who did it. Batgirl quit at one point. That was weird. Then she unquit just to quit again. I don't know. Back to you, Jared.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, this is an extra length book, by the way. For those of you watching, it doesn't have the price on it, but it was $1.50 back in '88, which I think comics were 75 cents each then. So it was double price, but it's a hefty book, and there's a lot of story in there, and Delvin boiled it down really well. Just gonna throw some quick thoughts out there, and then we're gonna get the thoughts from the guys. And if you've read it in the chat, let us know your thoughts as well. If you haven't read it, just guess and put your thoughts in there. I do that on a lot of podcasts. I liked this story for a couple of reasons. The main one being, I think it showed the downside of being over-focused on a failure. I think Barbara Gordon was so focused that she kind of lost, quote unquote, lost to Cormorant in the past. It blinded her to what was happening in front of her. It made her life harder. It kind of started making her a villain. I won't go that far, but like, all she wanted to do was bust this guy, and he was not a likable guy at all. But when you hound someone just waiting for them to do something wrong, it's not, when you read it in comic book form, it's not terribly heroic. And so I thought that Barbara, the writer, I thought she wrestled with some complex issues in this, one opportunity she had. This is a one-off. It's not part of a series. And I thought there was a lot in it. So that'll be my lead in to thoughts. And I think, Pat, you went first on the cover. So Delvin, thoughts on the story?
I like your preface because I get it, but the preface started at the beginning and it was something that just kind of irked my spirit. And not the fact that, I mean, if you were a superhero, imagine if you're a UFC fighter. I think a UFC fighter would be a very close comparison to what a superhero goes through, right? Like you see different foes you have to fight. Sometimes you just have to jump in the ring and you don't know who you're fighting against, or you have very little preparation. And so this villain, Cormorant, got the jump on her. And basically, like, she had a completely wrong read. And so she was the target, but didn't realize it. And so she's like, I died that day. Okay, I didn't die, but part of me died. And I was like, oh boy. Here.
Listen. Women write different from men, all right?
Yeah, like, but it set the table though.
It did. It really did.
Because like she took it so personally that, like, what I didn't like is she literally hounded this dude with no proof at all. None.
It felt a little bad, didn't it? Like a little icky.
I mean, the proof that she kind of had, well, I wouldn't say proof. She didn't have any proof, but, you know, she went off the hat. And so she's so obsessed with the hat that was left.
Yeah. Do you remember?
You know, I get that.
Did you ever watch the cartoon A Pup Named Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't have?
Like, I mean,
answer so quickly.
And so, like, Freddy, every time there was a caper, every single time he blamed Red Herring for it. No matter what, it was Red Herring's fault. I mean, which is a hilarious joke within a joke. But it was the same here. She was like, I saw a hat, and that's a hat that Cormorant wear, and he's coming after me, and he knew that I would think about the hat, and that's why he left it. Really? You're the daughter of a detective?
Obsession is a hell of a thing, man.
It's a hell of a thing. Yes. So that was the main driver. But then, like, by the time that the Slash character, cool costume, by the way, was thrown into the mix, I was like, who? And then, like, the chick's name was Marcy, right? The blonde?
Yeah, her friend. Yeah.
Who is that?
Yeah,
I just assumed it was like a Bronze Age Batgirl thing. I didn't read a lot of Batgirl in that Bronze Age, or maybe even Silver Age. I just assumed it was one of her friends. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't know who this is at all. Like that. So because you're like Marcy, and I'm like, I thought that I knew something about Batgirl, but I wasn't reading DC Universe at the time. I didn't start reading DC Universe until I was in college, so mid-90s. So overall, I did like the fight at the end. I actually kind of, like, I won't say I sided with Cormorant because clearly he was a bad dude, but I didn't blame him for kind of taking that, like, gift. It's like, you know what? You're in my house and you broke in. So
freebie.
Don't make this look like an accident. And he's setting the whole thing up, and I'm kind of like, yeah, that's what a bad guy would do, but she did break into his house. Didn't have a reason. So yeah, overall, it was a good story. It was an emotional story. I do not mind an emotional story at all. Not at all. But like, I definitely would love. So they never revealed who Slash was.
I was going to mention that. It's come up in the chat to this day. It's still a mystery. Which at least I don't feel so bad, because it bugged me as a kid in '88, and it bugged me when I reread it for the show. And now I don't feel so bad because at least we still don't know.
I can tell you around page 14, I was like, it's Marcy. Like Marcy setting her up, and Marcy showing up to the scene of the crime.
I thought
and I'm
it was
like,
too.
Or I thought it was Cormorant's wife, but then she was there when Slash was there. So I was like, I guess it can't be her.
I originally thought that until
Take it back.
Was that?
Take it. Your turn.
Oh, I originally thought that it was his wife, the whatever the guy's name is.
Cormorant.
Cormorant, yeah, whatever that spice. You know, the spice, you sprinkle it and it tastes so good. I thought it was his wife because she like leaves. Oh, well, I'll be back. I'll go get some stuff for supper or dinner or whatever. And then I thought, oh, well, she's going out to, you know, kind of go slash somebody or set something up. But then you find out that she's setting up him with Slash. But like, man, you know, when it goes all through this, the person that actually comes out ahead here is his wife.
Doesn't she?
Yeah.
He was
You
like,
know?
let me in. And she was like, oh no, the
Mhm.
door's locked. I don't know what to do.
I'm in such distress. I don't know how to operate a latch.
Even like 12-year-old, I was 12 when I got this. 12-year-old Jared was like, that
It wa-
dude was not likable.
Yeah. Oh no. And I like Delvin said, this was a good story. It was a hard story, just to see that kind of
It did confront real
yeah,
things like spousal abuse
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah. She put
spousal
a lot in
abuse
this
and
book.
just abuse. It's good. It had feelings in it. It had you thinking, is it Marcy or what's going on? I guess not knowing the lore of the Batgirl at this time, who was Marcy? I was like, oh yeah, and I thought that would be a cool twist if it was
Yeah,
her.
Auburn Elves has done some work in the chat and said, yeah, Marcy is Barbara's best friend.
Mm.
He also says if Marcy needs to take time off from being Barbara's personal nurse and masseuse, he volunteers.
Oh yeah. I like it's long story. I like the artwork, the layouts really pulled me in. So this is one that it didn't make it seem like it was a long story. Either by the writing, by the art, it kept me pulling in, and I wanted to know more about brought me into the story to figure this out, what was all happening and who was actually really in the end going to get the comeuppance. Yeah, it's something different, and it makes me feel like I need to go back into these post-crisis era and read some more Batgirl.
The funny thing is, Pat, I don't think Batgirl got her own book at all in post-crisis except for this one.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she ever got post-crisis. I think she might have had a Silver Age book, but I don't think she had one post-crisis. The more I think of it, I think this is like, and I think for like the one shot that they had post-crisis, kind of before Batmania and all that took off, I think Barbara Randall Kessel here, I think she told an amazingly strong, like we said, hard story, like
Hard
with
story,
real
yeah.
issues. In that wonderful way where it was adventurous and mysterious. And even at 12 years old, I understood everything she was trying to put across. And I don't think she was ham-handed in her messaging at all. I think it was just a good, solid tale, and that's even from 12-year-old Joe's point of view.
She gave enough of it just so you can understand it. Didn't have to, like you said, not ham-handed or whatever. Now you got me hungry. But put a little spice in a Coron on it. Anyway, that it was just enough to get you understanding the feelings that each of these characters had.
Yeah, I think she did a fine job. Let's see, I'm just checking the chat, see if anybody we had a lot of help from Auburn Elvis doing the research, as we always do. We appreciate that, sir. Jason Keene does the math for us here, like it's Action Film Face Off, and says $1.50 in 1988 feels like $4 today. So I don't think you get a double-sized comic today for $4.
No,
so, this was a good deal, apparently.
No, there are some regular size comics now that are $4.99.
Wow.
Courtney Holland theorizes that the serial killer was the Penguin, which is hilarious. if you know the body types of the serial killer and the Penguin.
Well, that was a good thing too, is that we didn't see who the slasher was until page 13 of the story. So in the beginning, you're thinking, oh, it's a guy, right? That's doing these killings.
Well, she certainly did.
Yeah.
And again, that was one of my favorite facets of the story, is just maybe because I taught some of that in my leadership classes, is that obsession that I'm going to remember what it was called in the classes. There's a term for it where you've kind of already made up your mind. Bias, some kind of bias. It'll come to me. Anyway, but that obsession bias that she had,
I believe it's implicit bias, Jared.
I'll buy that. Sure. I've only taught it for 20 years now. My brain won't remember what it's called, but I like I like it. But yeah, that bias that she had was so holding her back. So holding her back. And I like that because, again, that's like we taught that in my leadership class. That's life lessons. What we call it on Posicast, leadership tips with Jared or whatever. Positively practical is what we call it on that show.
Practical.
It's like a free positively practical about like, don't let your blind hatred of something lead you astray. And it really did. It threw her off track. It really did.
I really think that had she even had a conversation with Dick or with Bruce they'd have been like, they'd have been like, you are way in too deep on this. Like, you need to step back or let somebody else take care of it. Because just at one point, like she came across like Jan Brady, like Marsha. It's like Cormorant. Like the whole issue, Cormorant. It's definitely Cormorant. It's like, man, like I gotta sneeze. It's Cormorant's fault. Damn you! Like.
Well, spice gets up in your nose and
stop with the spice. It puts me in mind, and this is an example I use in my class. So freebie class for you guys. There was an excellent episode of Forensic Files, of which I've seen every one, so I'm sure I'm on a watch list somewhere. But there was an excellent episode of Forensic Files where this dude's mother had been murdered. There had been some falling out between him and her and who owned the property and all this stuff, right? So they were like, this dude killed his mom, right? So they get the dude, and the dude tells this story. He's like, I met this guy downtown. I told him I'd give him a ride, and I took him as far as I could, and he asked me to drive further. I said no. The guy got mad. He pulled me out of my truck. We fought. I drove around a little while to cool off. I saw the guy walking near my mom's house. I think he went in and killed her. It was the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, right? But kudos to the cop who was the forensic guys who were investigating, because they were like, we never care what the story is. We just work the evidence. They worked the evidence, and that dude was telling the truth. It was the most it sounded like such a lie, like a kid would make up, and it ended up being true. That was the lesson. That was the example we used in my lesson, that if you let go and focus on evidence, you'll get to the truth faster than what you've convinced yourself is true. I think that's a fascinating life lesson. Freebie for the listeners. Pat, you can edit that out in the podcast version if you want. All right. Bill Beer stopped by to say hello. Hi, Bill. He said that is a great issue, and I agree. Only thing we know about Slash is that she's 5'6" and about 120 pounds. So Penguin is now out. She carries 12 knives and can play a killer guitar solo. Thank you, Jason King. Oh, the Slash jokes are becoming a thing in the chat. I mean, it was 1988.
I was holding off on that. I didn't want people to cry. I'm like, you know what, guys, just don't you cry. Don't cry tonight. Don't cry tonight.
There's a heaven above you.
We still love you.
All right. Before we get too far, let's go on with the show. The next part of the show is we talk about the art in the book. We had a comment earlier on from Auburn Nelson in the chat who said he felt like this art was very similar to Mark Bagley, which is high praise, which means I'm going to let Delvin go first. What do you think of that comment? And what are your thoughts on the art of the book?
I didn't think Bagley, but I thought it was clean and simple. So I see where Auburn Elvis is getting that from. I think the biggest part where the art shined through, illuminated through, one of them was the fight scene at the end.
Yes,
like not only between Batgirl and Cormorant, but then when Slash came into the picture too, and like all three of them were going. That was a pretty complex sequence, but the artwork was so clean that you could definitely understand everything that went on through it. Up until that point leading up to it, the beats in the city and everything, I thought that was very good as well. This was Barry Kitson artwork.
Yeah, yes, Barry Kitson.
Yeah, Barry Kitson is a very, very good artist. I've seen some of his stuff. Every time I look at his work, I always think of it as, good / professional. That same line where who do you give that for? Like, if you want a comic book out, and like, hey, Barry, are you available? Can you pump this comic book out in 30 days? He's going to do it. Like, and it's going to be good, clean artwork. That's what I think of the artwork of this.
I agree. And he had to do a bunch of extra pages, which I know you love, Delvin. Pat. Pat, what did you think of the art in Batgirl Special #1, 1988?
I tipped my head earlier before when we were talking. did enjoy the artwork in here. I think the detailing that was done through it all was really good. The coloring also helpful. Just overall a solid art force that was done on this one.
I agree. Again, 12-year-old Jared picked this up because I thought the cover was cool and Batmania was starting, and that's why I picked it up. And then I read it and I thought it was a really good, even at 12, I thought this is a really good and powerful story. And I thought this art is incredible. And there's some particular moments that I also, especially around that final fight, that I also really liked. And we're going to talk about that because the next thing up is what's your favorite page of art from the book. If we ran into Barry and he had all these pages and he said, hey, Longbox guys, you can pick one. Which one are you taking home with you? We'll start with you this time, Pat.
Ooh, boy, there are so many different ones, but you know what? I'm going to go just one that caught my eyes. I'm kind of going through this one. I'm going to go, it's page 23. And it is some different panels on the top. It's her kind of going off, telling her story about when she got shot and then going back to the rooftop and falling as she's chasing Slash. And then right towards at the bottom, there is her dream, kind of quick panel of a dream sequence.
Is it this one, Pat?
Yes, that one.
All right. Just for the viewers, it's a lot going on, so it's kind of
there's a lot going on, but I like the panel layout. I like how it's just telling her a story of, she's still human, so sometimes she can make it to the edge, sometimes she can't. And I like it.
Yeah, there's a really good visual storytelling piece here in these two middle panels where it's like she's barely getting over the top of that building, and you feel her humanity and her willpower to keep going. That's a really good two panel, especially. Delvin.
I'm sitting there looking at a couple of pages of the fight scene. I think I'm going to settle on, let's see, this is at page 35 where Batgirl gets a groove back and finally it's like, no, Cormorant, you're not going to get the best of me, and freaking boom, hits him right in the doggone gut, and then hits him with a nice freaking jump spin kick and just whoops his butt. Like she remembers who she is. Like I was trained by, two tough men, Jim Gordon, Bruce Wayne. Like, come on now. You're named after a freaking seagull.
That old argument. Just to add more weight to Delvin for the viewers, here's the page that comes before it. And I love it because he's towering over her and he's shadowy and he's scary. And for a split second, she's scared. And then on Delvin's page is the time when she decides she's not going to be scared anymore. And I love it. Love it. I am also going to pick a page from the battle. I had this page memorized and etched in my brain from when I read it when I was 12. And there we go. It's after she drops the smoke bomb and she does this really cool like feint and slide behind him. And I just love the way it's almost Norm Brayfogle-ish if you want to fire up the Bray Hive, Delvin. It's very Norm Brayfogle-ish the way the energy is. I love how she drops the smoke bomb. She moves past him on like his left and then really does that really smooth slide behind him, which physically makes no sense because it looks like she'd probably just fall flat on her back, but it looks so cool the way she's like smoothly maneuvering around him. And then she gets up in the tree. I always remember that page from this one. And just a minor shout out to a couple pages before where she realizes she's in big trouble taking fire from both sides. There's a moment right here where first the serial killer throws a batarang at her, and then next Cormorant starts shooting at her from behind, and all the bullets miss her except for one, and it hits her right on the Kevlar bat belt, which deflects it, which I always thought was just kind of a cool visual storytelling of how the bat equipment is designed.
Yeah. But
still, like, if you took a bullet to your Kevlar belt, you'd be like, time out. I called time out. But I always thought it was cool. But anyway, I cheated and took two. I know. But I really like that one where she's maneuvering around him in the smoke. That just lived in my head since '88. Love it. Love it. Auburn Elvis mentions, and I don't know what specific page we've been talking for a while. He said the cape is awesome on that page. That could probably go for any page. Kitson's getting a lot of mileage. He's getting near McFarlane-esque mileage out of that, out of that cape. All right, guys. Any memories around Batgirl number 1 from 1988? I've
What
pretty much
month?
shared.
What month, Jared?
March
Ooh, okay.
of 88. Like I said, I've pretty much shared we probably didn't land in our Stars and Stripes until April or May. Again, we're gearing up for Batmania. It's already in the air. I'm just now coming to the Bat universe. It's got a great cover. I can still smell the Stars and Stripes bookstore in Fulda, Germany. All my stories, Pat.
Yeah.
So
Rinse, repeat. No,
March of
just
80.
kidding.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This is one of the strongest bonds I have to my comic collecting.
Yeah.
And, like I see this and I immediately know where I was. Again, I can smell it. That's not a joke. Pat, what do you got? March of 88.
March of 88, second half of sophomore year of high school. So
Were you comicking?
Was I comicking? I think I was just starting to. I think right before Batmania, I was I was definitely G.I. Joeing for sure.
Sure, yeah. Sorry.
But haven't really, more dabbled into other stuff. My friend, however, was more of a comic book fan, so I would grab some of his stuff and take home and read. So yeah, just kind of getting into it a little bit more. 88. Yeah, sophomore year, high school, doing. Back then I started doing more DJing at the time for high school activities. After the games at that time, what was it? It'd probably be like basketball games going on.
Nice.
So any game at that, yeah.
I did
home game, I'd be spinning the tunes.
Spin the ones and twos.
Yeah.
I did a quick search. If the internet's reliable on my quick search, March of 88, the cover March 88 for G.I. Joe would have been issue 69, which features it's Destro, Gold Mask, flanked by 2 Grenadiers on a purple.
Oh, my favorites.
Yep. Grenadiers, whatever it takes.
Yep.
So that's what you have been reading in G.I. Joe.
Awesome.
Delvin, March 1988.
Had to go back because I'm like, do I have any specific life memories? 88, I was starting middle school. So there's that. Or about to wrap up 6th grade, I guess, back then. But the comic book I was reading was Transformers 38. Looks like that was the start of introducing the Headmasters where in that issue, Pat, was Galen, the original guy who was controlling the Headmaster Fortress Maximus, dies, and Spike takes his place back in that issue. Pretty good cover too. So yeah, that's where I was looking at that. Like, hold on, if I can bring up the cover, it's a pretty cool cover. There, yeah, where you got Fortress Maximus fighting Scorponok and Lord Zarak.
Zarak.
Is that the first one with the corner box with the head? Because
it might be, because at this time Optimus Prime had been presumed dead and never to come back for about a year or so.
Video games.
Those darn video games, ruining kids and robots. So like they introduced the Headmasters because, of course, Transformers was the purpose of a toy property comic book, to sell toys. And so they were bringing along the Headmasters at the time in the Transformers universe, and they brought them to Earth into the comic book. So that's where I was comic book speaking.
Nice. Arnell says he was getting ready to graduate from high school, so he's Jason's age. I think Jason graduated in 89, so he's a little older than Jason. Okay, guys, that is going to bring us the end of this part of the show. If you have a comment or question, you know the deal. You can email contact@longboxcrusade.com or make a social media comment. It's all at Longbox Crusade, wherever you find your social medias. And we will be right back after another promo. I bet you guys can guess what it is. So if you don't have your dancing shoes on, you should probably put them on now.
Cover the legendary Q106.5 in your car, on your smart speaker, on your phone. Browse to Q106.5. Q1065.com. 80s, 90s. This is a radio station with a vibe. Download our app or listen online. Search at Q1065 Radio on social media. The Q is your favorite radio station. Discover Q106.5 and hear the 80s and 90s hits on the radio station with personality. Q106.5.
And I know I've mentioned this every time we play that promo. It's not just an agreement we have with it. I literally listen to it every day. I listened to it. I went to church this morning to and from. Q1065 was on my radio. All right. So, welcome back from the break. Let's continue with the show. We are in segment 2. And that doesn't mean anything to anybody that doesn't have the script. But segment 2 is called, well, let me do it properly because I want Pat to feel good about it. Now it's time to scan through the featured issue of Batgirl Special number 1, cover dated 1988, for the top ads that stood out to us in a segment called Passing to Delvin.
I was on mute. I completely ruined the timing on that, so I'm sorry about that, Jared.
Truncated silence is a beautiful thing.
Add it up, add it up, add it up, add it up. See what you got. You got to add it up. Add it up. There you go, Jared. I queued it up.
Yes, good. All right. I'm going to pull up the assets because we're going to talk about the ads in the book. Which one stood out to us? I'm going to start off with this one because I'm going to do the most important one, guys. The one that our listeners and our viewers need to know about.
Sure.
Dang it. I got to pick another one.
Well, you can still like it best. But this one is of all the added ups we've ever done, this one is the most important and tied to the book because it didn't even occur to me until I read it for this episode how important it was. Now, the big thing to remember is Delvin told you in the synopsis, the title of this book was The Last Batgirl Story, which didn't mean a lot to me at the time. And it didn't mean a lot to me when I first cracked it open and reread it for this episode. But then after the last Batgirl story is over, the ad that comes immediately after that is this one I'm showing the listening or the viewing audience. Listeners, it is an ad for the Killing Joke. It's got that beautiful Brian Boland crazy Joker ha 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 look on it, and it's advertising the Killing Joke. And now that I know that, now everyone should understand why it's called The Last Batgirl Story, which blew my mind because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm guessing, I don't have paperwork to back this up, but I'm guessing that somewhere in the DC offices, they knew what was going to happen to Barbara Gordon. And I think Barbara Kessel said, I've got one story I'd like to get out before that happens, making this all the more poignant. I think it's dark, but I think it's incredibly fascinating. We can talk about that before we pick ads. So thoughts on this Killing Joke ad, now that we know, now that we have the context. Delvin, I know you've got thoughts.
You got to bring back house ads. House ads are so good. Like, especially, I mean, look at that. That is iconic. Like, the Joker looks just dangerous and crazy. And all the ha-has in the back of it. And by the way, this is the Joker I like. The Joker where he is supreme common thug with just a flair. Like, kind of like Jack Nicholson in, 89. Like, that they morphed him into this psycho thing with this weird pseudo-romantic relationship with Batman, Boogeyman. Things like, what?
Let's calm down, everybody.
Joker can't do all that, but what he can do is he didn't even know that, and as far as he didn't even know that he shot Batgirl. He didn't know he did it. He just knew that was Commissioner Gordon's daughter, and I'm going to do this because it was going to cause him pain. He didn't even care about Barbara Gordon. He cared that it would hurt Commissioner Gordon. Like, this Joker is the Joker. And and that picture personifies all that Joker was.
Pat, top that.
Yeah, I can't. But I do find that it very interesting that this is coming right after this issue. And what I liked, and I didn't mention in the issue, was her using her computer abilities, her research ability, being a librarian and all things like that, that the writer kind of kept playing off of that a little bit more. And towards the end, when she decides to kind of give up being Batgirl, she's like, well, I'm still going to help, but I can help in this other way. And we see that kind of give her some courage, or just, where she goes from there after the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah. Batgirl special plants some seeds there, doesn't it?
It does.
It
yeah.
does.
And it's very subtle.
It does.
If you didn't know.
Yeah. And to me, this was just mind blowing when I read it in preparation for the show, because I read it when I was 12. Of course, I've read the Killing Joke since then. And when I saw how those two things were connected, and I saw it was the last Batgirl story, I went, oh my gosh, we got to talk about that. Auburn Elvis says, someone bring up the Booster Gold story. I'm not going to, because it'll make me cry. It's one of the few comic stories that literally made me cry. So anyone else, feel free to talk about it. Talk about it in the chat. Short version, Booster Gold does everything he can to save Barbara Gordon, and he can't. And it eats him up real bad. And using his time traveling thing. That's all you're going to get out of me, because I'm going to get emotional. So let's get back to some other ads. And Delvin said something interesting. Bring back house ads. I'm going to let you guys know behind the scenes. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 ads in this, and 10 are house ads. 9 of 12 are house ads, which also made me wonder, gentlemen, just tossing this out there. This book has some, as Pat said, hard topics. I wonder if some of the advertisers, if they're told that, this is what's covering, some of the advertisers went,
I see what you're saying.
Because there's a lot of house ads for an extra page book.
I agree with you on that, Jared. But at the same time, it's an annual, right? So you got time. Like if you're going to buy the annual, then you're probably a diehard.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So
are you saying go ahead.
They might be trying to convince you to say, hey, we got these other cool books too.
Fair.
Especially because they had a couple of bat related ones, like the one that's like a Batman, the Cult. That one looked interesting. I never heard of that before. That one, yes.
There you go. Yeah, I've read that, and yeah, that's a heck of a good looking ad, because I remember the ad more than I remember the 4-issue story, because I've read it, but all I remember is the ad.
I mean, and it's just like a good movie trailer. If you get a good movie trailer, you might be like, I'm gonna watch that movie. And even if you watch the movie and the movie turns out to be kind of poop, you're still like, still a good trailer.
And I'm not bagging on it. It could be very good. It's been since like back then since I read it. I mean, it's Jim Starlin who officially got me into Batman. The first Batman comic I ever read was Jim Starlin. It was the Dumpster Killers one, which had to be put on pause for like 6 issues because they did it, and then 10 Nights of the Beast happened, and then they had to go back to that. Anyway, and the pencils are Bernie Wrightson, for goodness sake. So it's got to be good. I just don't remember.
If I think, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, either in the chat or in the comments later on. I think this is one where like Batman gets caught, and then he gets drugged, and then becomes part of the cult a little bit.
Sounds right.
And does some stuff, and then snaps gets out of it. But it's an interesting story.
Auburn Elvis says that there's a Batmobile monster truck in it. I don't remember that. He's famous for messing with us, but I don't think maybe he is. I don't know if he's just messing with us. It wouldn't surprise me either way. What about an ad for you there, Pat?
Well, there are so many good ones, and obviously you took the one that really stood out.
Yeah, I know, but I had
which is fine. We needed to talk about it. I am going to choose the Action Weekly, because I think this is right when Action Weekly starts, where it's watched for this grand opening, and that's where Action Comics changed to Action Weekly. I don't remember how long the run is, but it became a weekly comic that would at least 3, maybe 4 different little kind of stories that were shorter.
Yeah, much more of a showcase type of a thing. Yeah.
But, Green Lantern, at the time, there wasn't a Green Lantern running, so it was running in here. Some storytelling that was going on. You had Superman, Green Lantern, you had some up and comers coming out there as well. Like, why am I blanking on the guy's name? He had a dog on him. Oh,
Mad Dog.
was it Mad Dog?
Well, Mad Dog. I know he
Or
was an Action Comics
Wild.
well, I'm sorry, it's Wild Dog. You're right.
Wild Dog, yeah.
Wild Dog.
Wild Dog comes out of here, and you know, a lot of different ones.
So did they bring back Black Hawk, the World War II pilot?
I think there was maybe some Black Hawk in there too. I have to go back through.
Hawk.
Oh, not to be missed with Dark. Yeah,
Hawk.
Yeah. But I thought this was a really good play on it to do, and this was something I think when I started getting back into comics, and before starting the podcast area, I was kind of going back and trying to get a lot of these action weeklies.
Very cool. I got some more info from Auburn Ellis. He said he's not joking. The Batmobile is a monster truck in the Cult story. And he also drops this fun one on us. The Cult had a scene where Robin slaps Batman, a reversal on the famous Batman slapping Robin meme. I love it. Pat, I don't know what to do with you anymore. I'm glad you picked the Action Comics ad. I would have lost money. I would have thought for sure you were going to go to the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
Sort of D&D ad on the back.
D&D's nuts. Yeah.
Yes.
But I was thinking that one, but you know what? That one I wasn't really into because
it's not standard D&D. It's more offshoot D&D, right?
Yeah.
So.
And if I'm going to go into like this offshoot stuff, I really like the D&D, the Dracula one, the Ravenloft side of it. Because I find that Dracula lore enticing.
I hear you.
You know, I leave my window open every night waiting for someone to...
That's weird. But all right. Those
you don't want to live forever?
That is an
be
unholy demon path. We'll talk later. It's a whole other show. So those are the ads that stood out to us, guys. There's a lot of house ads. Is there an ElfQuest ad? Matt, are you trying to get us canceled? Oh, it'll never stop. All right. You know what? Let's just move on. Let's move on to the next segment, which is called Way Back in Time. March 1988. This is the part of the show where we look at the major news stories, and we'll talk about
Jared.
Yeah.
So take me away. I don't mind, but you gotta promise me I'll be back in time. Okay, keep going.
I feel better now. I heard it in my head, but all right. All right, we're going to talk about the major news stories. We're going to talk about the top movies and top songs to get you in that 1988 frame of mind. Pat, you got a major news story picked out already?
Kind of do and I kind of do.
So the answer is no.
Yeah, you know, when I made this list up, I'm like, oh, wow. There's a lot here that happens. So I'll just start us off with one of them. It's from March 2nd, the 30th Grammy Awards record of the year was Paul Simon's Graceland.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And, you know, I think you can just call him Al if you wanted to off of that album. Otherwise, U2 with the Joshua Tree, another good album.
Banger, all-timer.
Yeah, they were still trying to find what they were looking for. And Jody Watley, she was looking for a new love.
I'll tell you what,
baby.
Q1065 plays that song and a couple other lesser-known Jody Watley tunes, and I discovered Jared likes Jody Watley. I like a lot of her songs.
Yeah,
man.
Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the record of the year and the album of the year?
I was wondering that same thing.
You know, it's hard to say. I guess it was album of the year. Because back then you had the 45s still. And that was like a record, wasn't it? What
did they have two categories? Because this was the advent of CD was happening.
I guess that would be a single though.
Were they dividing them between albums and CD? I don't know. All I know is Graceland is outstanding, Joshua Tree is outstanding, and Jody Watley is hot. I mean, talented. I almost got through the whole thing, Delvin.
Almost.
Save me, Delvin.
Rooting for you.
Pick a news story for the love of God.
I was rooting for you, Jared.
Oh, wait. We got some intel from the chat. Record is basically the best single. So Graceland won best single. U2's Joshua Tree won best
album,
if you will. Yeah.
I have never heard of Graceland by Paul Simon. Matter of fact, I don't even think I know a lot of Paul Simon.
Do, 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 do.
Yes, you can call me Al, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on that
Yeah,
album.
but that's not the Graceland was the album, I thought, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what?
Somebody help us.
Yeah, but there's no helping us, Pat. You know, they just gave us some help.
They gave us help as much as we're going to need.
On March 27th, WrestleMania 4 in the historic Atlantic City Convention Hall in New Jersey. The Macho Man Randy Savage beats Ted DiBiase for the WWF Heavyweight title.
I got to tell you, I don't remember seeing that in '88, but I would watch the hell out of that now because I told you I found that WrestleMania 3 DVD and I watched it. It was maybe the most entertaining thing I've ever seen.
Man, like wrestling at its finest
That's pay-per-view too, right?
It was pay-per-view at the time. You had to shell out the dough for it. So chances are a lot of people didn't watch it. Oh, look, Matt Postle is not one of them. Matt Postle says, I rented WrestleMania 4 so
I remember seeing it on the rental shelves. Oh, yeah.
On VHS. But that's how you had to watch it. That's how the normal people, the middle class people, the lower middle class people, the poor people had to watch WrestleMania on VHS tapes. You weren't watching it on no pay-per-view. Mom and Dad were going to pay $50 for that.
Yeah, right. I probably did see that because my next door neighbor was big on renting those WrestleManias. I bet I did see his house. I bet if I watch it, I go, oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I think I called Delvin on the phone, like an actual phone call, like not even a text. When I watched WrestleMania 3, I was like, this is one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so entertaining.
These speculate, and Courtney said, and Courtney is a big wrestling fan too. Courtney says that night that he won the money sign belt, like the Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, had a big money belt that he called his $1 Million belt. So, yeah.
And Randy, the Macho Man Savage, won it?
I guess so. And in effect, the World Heavyweight Championship for WWF as well.
The best Randy the Macho Man Savage trivia I've got, which I'm certain Delvin already knows, is he was originally a baseball player, played for the Cincinnati Reds. True story. For mine, I will go all the way to the end of the month. March 30th was the second annual Soul Train Music Awards. Big winners that night were Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston because, damn it, that's the law in 1988. And no one's going to go against that.
Dude, that's almost the law now. Hey, there was and keep in mind, it's a sportscaster, and I'm not even going to mention his name because that's not really the realm that we get into here at the Longbox Crusade. But dude was like, Chris Brown is like a bigger entertainer than Michael Jackson. And it's like, stop.
Opinion dismissed.
What? No.
Cut his feed.
Well, yeah. It's like, well, he's this generation's.
No.
Still no. Just no.
Michael. All right. I saw a guy say something on X one time that I just can't get out of my brain how accurate it was. He was like, the Beatles had women screaming and passing out. Michael Jackson had grown men screaming and passing out. And I'm like, he's not wrong. He was that big. He was that big.
I saw Michael Jackson standing in a freaking veranda on the hotel. And like, there are hordes of people around just watching him for seconds. I got to see the actual human being, Michael Jackson.
You've seen him?
No, I'm saying that's what people did.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, if you saw him in this, I just now found out about him. I'm mad.
Oh, that's cool.
He's like, you see how popular he was? I was about to get mad at Delvin for not telling me.
I was in the vicinity of Michael Jackson. Who wants to touch me? Who wants to touch me, G, damn
it? Yeah. And to this day, I'm not going off of Q106.5. If Michael's on or Whitney, of course, Prince as well. But yeah, it was 1988. If you weren't there, you have no idea how much Michael Jackson was, as Eddie Murphy would say, sitting on top of the world. It's a Beverly Hills Cop reference for you. Speaking of movies, let's go to the movies. The top 3 movies for March of 1988. I'll start with the number 3, and we'll let somebody else go for the big ones. Although I have seen it. Number 3 was Biloxi Blues comedy. Neil Simon wrote it. It stars Ferris Bueller, whose real name will come to me in a minute.
Matthew Broderick.
And
Matthew Broderick, yep.
you know who else is in it? Who plays
Who?
his drill sergeant?
Who?
It's Christopher Walken.
Oh, I know it by the name, but not by the voice.
Yeah,
you're
shut up.
giving.
It was well done, though. It's a funny movie, and Christopher Walken is excellent in it. As always, Biloxi Blues comes in at number 3 for March of 1988. Pat.
All right. Well, coming in for number 2 is a little movie called Beetlejuice. I'm not going to say it 2 more times.
What's
otherwise,
it called?
It's called Beetlejuice, Jared.
What now?
What?
Huh?
It's called Beetlejuice. Oh.
I figured I muted my camera. That would be a good effect.
I was like, did he just drop off when we said Beetlejuice the third time? Oh, all right. What do you got, Beetlejuice, Pat?
Oh, it's a good. I never saw Biloxi Blues. To this day, I've never seen it. But I have seen Beetlejuice. Remember seeing that in the theaters. Michael Keaton doing this crazy guy and fun, and watched it so many times afterwards, either on one of the show, HBO, Showtime, all that, wherever it played, and rented it probably.
I concur. Hey, you know what? In the chat, Auburn Ellis just brought up the Iran-Contra affair happened in March of 1988. Oliver North was a big deal and all that. I read, as of this last week, he actually remarried. He married his secretary. That was his secretary during the Iran-Contra affair. So apparently they stayed in touch. Anyway, that is appropriate of nothing. Let's go back to the number. I almost feel bad. I've never heard of this movie. Go to the number 1 movie of March of 88. And that's Delvin's to reveal.
If you ain't heard of it, I ain't heard of it. I was going to ask, have you heard of it? Because I ain't heard of it. The number 1 movie in March 1988, making $91 million, was Masquerade.
Okay. I looked it up. It's Rob Lowe, and I haven't seen it. So that's why. Kim Cattrall, I think, is in it as well.
Oh, interesting.
And I haven't seen it, but it's on my list. I'm pretty sure I put it on my Plex with an intent to watch. But Masquerade, anybody in the chat got anything on that? I just can't believe it beat out Beetle. I mean,
yeah. Well,
Beetlejuice might have won in the long. It's just a snapshot.
Yeah, probably Beetlejuice is one in the long run, but
yeah. I mean,
and
they're
why
not coming out with a Masquerade 2.
And why is Beetlejuice so important to your love of comic books, Pat? Do you know why? It's really important
for my love of comics.
Yeah.
Well, Batman. I don't know.
Yes. Without it, you don't get 89 Batman because it's Tim Burton and Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah.
And that's when Burton was like, "I want Keaton to be Batman." And nobody in the world. Could you imagine if social media existed? We got mad about Ben Affleck. You imagine how mad they would have been about Mr. Mom.
I guess I didn't think about that. I guess this is a Burton flick, but
yeah.
And just he must have saw how Keaton could definitely do the character.
Yeah, he saw something that I remember hearing in the news.
Keaton's still good, man.
Yeah, I remember hearing the news, and I honestly thought the Batman movie is going to be a comedy. I was convinced it was going to be a comedy. Who knew? The answer to that, Tim Burton.
Yep,
that's the answer to who knew. Anyway, something Masquerade. Nobody cares. Let's go. Well, it might be good. Like I said, it's on my list of movies to watch, so I'll get back to you. Let's go to the top 3 songs according to Billboard of March of 88. And once again, I'll be the anchor man on this one. I thought I was giving somebody a great number 1 until we got there. Delvin got Masquerade. I'll start with number 3. Yes. Number 3 is from the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. The song is She's Like the Wind, and it is sung by actually Patrick Swayze himself, featuring Wendy Fraser. And you know what? Dude sings pretty good. I like that song.
It's just a fool to believe. I have anything she needs. She's like the wind.
She is.
It's a great song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And who would have thought Patrick Swayze had them chops? We'll give number 1 to Delvin. To Pat this time, even though Delvin's not going to be able to not sing it. But let's go to number 2 to Delvin.
I haven't even looked. Hold on. Let me go back. Oh,
we're not even trying to do a joke.
Yeah. I mean, it would be impossible, or maybe it'd be even better if it just popped up randomly at some point, and you weren't expecting it. The number 2 song is Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up." Never
gonna
gonna
let
let
you
you
down.
down.
Never gonna run around and hurt you. You know, I got rickrolled recently, and I guess I don't know if you're gonna call it rickrolled, but maybe I did it to myself. But all of a sudden, I was on YouTube scrolling through some stuff, and I like to watch, acoustic stuff, people doing covers and all that. And all of a sudden, there's Rick Ashley doing covers of newer music, and the guy is talented and very good. That I started going down this rabbit hole of Rick Ashley doing cover songs. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's got a strong voice. In fact, I'm not ashamed to admit, back in the 80s, we really, especially in Germany, we didn't have MTV, just had radio. I thought he was a black dude for the longest time. He's got that soulful voice.
Yeah.
Then I saw him, I was like, what the hell is going on here? So, yeah, he's got that strong, soulful voice. Yeah, he's a good performer, no doubt. It's just a shame that will be his legacy. Will be Rick Rolling.
Kathy says I majorly crushed on Rick Astley, and you know what? I think that that's gonna be unrequited.
I mean, you never know, but
no, pretty sure.
According to all the letters I've received from Melissa Etheridge, I'm going to agree with. All right, Pat. Take it to number one, and Delvin's not going to be able to not sing it.
So coming in at number one is a George Michael song called "Father Figure."
Such a great song. It's just a great song. No, I'm actually good on that. I love the just the non sequitur that he puts in there. Like, I'll be your daddy. It's like, do I have pearls to clutch? Sorry. Are you molesting me via song, George Michael?
Okay. I'm now gonna tell a true story that Delvin may or may not remember. We were in college and we were at the CD store because you had to buy your music at the CD store. And George Michael just dropped a 2 CD set called Ladies and Gentlemen, the Best of George Michael. And I was considering buying it. But this was the late 90s and we were in college and you're overly concerned with your image. And I was like, this was very big at the time that he was gay, and for right or wrong, that mattered in college to some extent. And I was like, man, I really want to get this CD. I think he's great. I was like, and Delvin just looked at me. He was like, dude, do you like the music? And I was like, yeah. He was like, then buy the CD. And I was like, cool. And I come to find out, I think Delvin just wanted to borrow it because he liked it too. But I'll never forget that. It really changed my life more than you probably realize. Because there's a lot of artists that I was just like, nah, it didn't even have to do with sexuality, just sort of masculineness overall.
No, I got you.
Who sang Copacabana? That guy wrote a million songs. He wrote the songs that make the whole world sing.
That's Barry Manilow.
Yeah, I don't know his sexuality, but it was not cool to like Barry Manilow. But I'm like, that dude can.
He's got a good song.
Yeah, that dude can sing. And it was that moment that Delvin told me that really shifted my worldview in that small moment.
Well, I can tell you this: one of the cooler parts of getting older is I absolutely care less and less what it is that you think about a musical taste or drink.
Same.
Oh,
yeah.
You got to drink this motor oil. That proves you're a man. It's like, you know what proves I'm a man? That I can put down my own money and pay for my own. So I'm gonna drink whatever I want to drink, and I'm gonna listen whatever I want to listen to, because what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same, but it's weird how you look back at when you're a teenager or you're early 20s. All that stuff mattered, and you're like, why did I care about that?
Why did it matter? Because it only mattered in that moment. The exact same thing. I'll tell people when I was in high school, I collected comic books for a matter of years at that point. And I remember thinking well, you know what? When I I was a magnet school kid up until high school. And so I went to the neighborhood high school, and I'm thinking, okay, I started to get friends, maybe invite them over to hang out. If they see I collect comic books and they make fun of me for it, I'll just stop collecting.
No, man, you get new friends.
What an insane thing to think. But I was a teenager. I was a teenager. So it's in looking back, well, I'm grateful for two things. Well, one, the main thing I'm grateful for is any friend that I invited over, and I'm not even talking about the nerdy friends. It doesn't matter. The sporty friends, the cool friends, the Catholic, all of them saw I collected comic books and were like, dude, that's cool. End of story. Mm-hmm. I got teased 0 times about it.
Yeah, I
And
think
so
we.
just
You build up too much in your
Yeah,
head.
we
that,
build in our own heads, definitely.
Yeah,
And-
we're
and
our
I-
own worst enemies.
And I was doing that. I was looking at the CD, Hinman and Hahn, and Doug was like, "If you like, just buy the damn CD, man." And I was like, "Yeah, why
it
do
was
I
like,
care?"
no, actually, Jared, it was an elaborate setup. Like I
Yeah.
did that, then went back.
Yeah,
he
he was like,
bought George Michael CD. He's a fruit.
Jared's a fruit. Yeah, it was a painful time. I don't like talking about it.
I'll tell you this: my first 45, album single that I was able to buy was Copacabana.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
Still got it.
I
to
would
this
have
day.
made fun of you back then, but now I know better. Yeah, dude can sing. Doesn't matter. All right, guys, good talk about that. We gave them more perspective than they ever wanted. You can hear all the songs we just discussed, 80s, 90s hits, once again on Q106.5. They have their own app, or you can go to Q1065.com. And again, highly recommend.
That is my music of choice right now.
That's all you wanted. Something special.
Something special.
We're moving on.
In my ears.
All right. I'm taking over. I'm gonna.
You should.
This definitely brings us to the end of this part of the show. Let's get to the feedback part where we go into Crusaders comments, where we're always thrilled to kick off comments with special shout outs to Crusaders Club members. These are the folks who have joined our crusade. They get priority seating as guests on our shows. They get special episodes. They get behind the scenes live recordings over on our Patreon page. They get to vote to determine show content. We got a Spider-Man Chronicles coming up soon that you guys are going to get to vote on what the second feature is going to be. And if you vote for the X-Men, I will kill you. All right. What else? There's a lot of things. Actually, no, me and X-Men are finding a peace. But these are the fine folks reaping the benefits and giving some much appreciated support to the show. Pat.
I'll start us off. Alan W. Wright. He's never going to give you up.
Here we go.
And Helica Wolf. Ow.
Auburn Elvis.
Bill Beer. Never going to let you down.
Billy D.
Bradley Dello. I mean,
Braxton Underwood. Never going to run around.
Carrie.
he's got to edit it, so I'm fine.
Yep.
Clinton Robinson.
Captain Entropy will never desert you.
Clark Westfield.
Dave Collins. Battle Wagon.
Eric Hodges. Never going to make you cry.
Eric Porter joining us in the chat. Thank you, sir.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, Auburn Elvis also in the chat. I hope I didn't miss anybody else. Eric. Oh, you did Porter. So I'm on Ezra Gallo.
Gary V is never going to say goodbye.
Gene Hendricks.
George Meal.
Gerald Green. He's never going to tell a lie.
Heinz K.
Django Unfettered.
And of course, Jason Keene. He's never going to hurt you.
Also joined us in the chat. And Jason Lady.
Jeff Polier.
Jim Jarman. I hope you like Jim Jarman too. He's no stranger to love.
There you go. Jim Meal.
Joe Manconan.
Joe Thomas. He knows the rules, and so do I.
And so do I. John Watson.
Josh Strickland, who I got to meet at DragonCon. Thanks for stopping by, Josh.
Candace Ward.
Kathy Bright, the MVP, who was very elated that she got to meet Jim Jarman at DragonCon.
I feel like I saw Kathy at DragonCon at one point. Matt and Lissy Paso in the chat, Matt.
Mark Ross.
Maxwell Traver.
Michael Minton.
Here we go. Miranda W.
That's it? You out of
We're
record?
done with the bit?
You guys, I was like, okay, I better stop. It was a
Why?
bad
You
idea.
were.
We're at 37 of 51 is where you decided to bump the
I mean, if you're gonna commit, Pat, you gotta think. You gotta bid. You got a responsibility.
responsibility.
Fine, we'll keep going. PD Devins.
Paul Hicks.
Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
Ronald Easterday.
Rob Morgan.
Sean Urbanski.
Snake Plissken.
Spidey 67. Ronnie the Ghost.
Spreadsheet.
Steve Cronin.
Steve Martin.
Tim Price.
I mean, just back to the Rickroll thing real quick, Pat.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even if a bit isn't going anywhere, it kind of still is, right? Like, you do it, it doesn't work. You do it again.
It's worked
Kinda
for David
like
Letterman for years.
Right. That was his whole thing. It was how Matt Katai put me in on that Gal Gadot.
I guess I wasn't thinking of it. I didn't really think it all the way through.
You gotta feel it. Gotta feel it, Pat.
The catchphrase of our network. Longbox Crusade. We didn't really think
We don't think it all the way through. 10 years and still doing it.
Still doing it, baby. Tony Pennington.
And Toronto Cop, who will never run around and desert you. I don't know. Anyway,
It's going to pick you up.
if we miss you on the list, we apologize. Keep in mind, we record these episodes, especially these episodes, well in advance of release. So if you're a recent edition, we'll be adding you soon. But no worries. Let us know we missed you by sending an email to contact@longboxcrusade.com. We will straighten it out. As a reminder, you can become a Crusaders Club member by heading to patreon.com/longboxcrusade for as little as $1 a month. You'll get access to the amazing world of Crusaders Club. We would love to have you, and we appreciate each and everybody who we just read their names. Thank you guys so much. And if you don't have any extra scratch laying around, but you want to help us out at LBC headquarters, anytime you write a review, give it a like, a share, anything like that, social media, YouTube, you name it, it all helps. We appreciate it, and we love hearing from you. We are so far ahead on these recordings. We haven't released, I guess 51 is the next one to come out yet. So we don't have any feedback to read at this time, which is good because we're running kind of long anyway. So I'm sure feedback is to come, and we appreciate each and every piece of it that we get. And of course, as a reminder, voicemails. We'd love to play your voicemail. Give us a call at 707-532-5269, 707-532-LBOX.
Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna say a lie. I screwed it up, but you get what I'm saying. I Rickrolled instead of doing to pick up the phone.
We got it. We got it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thanks to everybody out there who does the likes, the shares, the follows, the comments, the voicemails, the YouTubes, the skip scaps, and the skabobbles. We appreciate your friendship and helping spread the word about the show. And that is it, guys. Be sure to check out the website, longboxcrusade.com, where posts are made while we journal this crusade. I want to thank Pat and Delvin, and specifically not Jason, and everyone in the chat for joining me on this episode. We hope Jason's having a great time. But before we go, where can the listeners find us on the internet, Pat?
Well, Jared, I'm glad you asked. You can find me on the X at Christatos01. Delvin?
Instagram threads, Delvin Ray. Take it away, Jared.
At Yard Sale Artist, X, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this, whatever it was, of the Longbox Crusade. And as a reminder, share your thoughts with us. Longbox Crusade. We're everywhere. Everywhere. Type in Longbox Crusade and then share thoughts. We'll read them, probably. And we'll always appreciate them. But until next time, take care. And please join us on the next episode as we continue the Crusade to read them all. We did it. Woo! Woo! Oh, you'll be back, Pat. I swear. I just got to move this. I got to move this.
Can you hear me?
I gotta admit, Batgirl's prettier.
Yeah.
You hear me?
I'm going as fast as I can, Pat. There we go.
Hey.
There we go. Thank you guys in the chat. You guys made it fun as always. This one meant a lot to me. Batgirl special one from '88 deep place in my heart. This probably was evident.
Yeah.
So,
Good one.
let's give some stuff away.
Give it
Give it away now.
Okay.
What's our number? Delvin?
It's 8, but let me make sure. Hold on. I got to do a cross out here.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
That I had 8 people. If I forgot someone, remind me,
Okay.
Jared or Pat, or listening audience. Matt Passo, Auburn Elvis, Eric Porter, Kathy Bright, Jason King, Doc Strange, Courtney Holland, and Bill Beer. Did I miss anyone?
Sounds right to me.
Did you say Eric Porter?
I did.
Okay.
I think you got them.
Yeah.
Quick scroll says you caught Courtney, correct?
I did.
All right, Courtney, give us number 1 to 8.
Yeah.
And we will give something away. I got stuff off screen here. Let's see who wins it. And while you're at it, Courtney, our other one, just give me a 1 through 50 for our other giveaway.
And you know what, Jared, let's go ahead and I'm going to put this out there. We were just talking about it ahead of time. What do people think? We do have a lot of content because we're working ahead. Would listeners be all right with content coming out 3 days? Every other 3 days? Or is it too much? Is it not enough? I don't want to say it's not enough. Too much for production wise.
Let's ask it this way to people in the chat, and I don't know if Courtney's still here. So Kathy, will you be our backup and pick a number 1 through 8? Jim Meal did stop by. Did you get him? Tell me. Kathy just.
I didn't. I will write it now. Okay. Thank you.
So 1 through 9, then please. The question that I would like to ask the group is, what do you think the ideal release is for podcasts? Like, we have a lot of content we're trying to get out, and we've noticed that if podcast releases something every day, sometimes people feel like they're overwhelmed. So what do you think is ideal? Like, would you like to see something dropped every 2 days, 3 days, 4 days? What feels right to you?
Look at this kind comment by Jason.
Yeah, I know. That's awesome. Man, that guy's so keen.
Yeah, you're a good dude, Jason King. We appreciate you, man. We do. Kathy gave us a 5, by the way, Delvin. So who's the winner? And I'll try to pick the prize.
You know, and I want to say, Jason, you've been on my mind, Jason Keene, recently because I am editing the Amazing Spider-Man episode, which will be coming out soon, that you're on. And oh man, yes, you're a fun guy. It makes me laugh.
I got a name for you, Jared.
All right. Ready. So for the people that were here live stream, the winner is
Kathy Bright.
Kathy Bright gets nothing. Nothing.
She picked her own number. Didn't even know it.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to tailor some stuff. So what do I think Kathy would like most out of this?
That makes her the MVP.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got it. I got some stuff for Kathy. Okay, Kathy, you have just won. I'm going to hook you up with a notebook because I know you like to take notes and keep track of things. And not only is it a notebook, it's a Sherlock Holmes notebook.
Oh, that's sweet.
And on top of that, because I know she likes to color,
I want a notebook.
James Bond coloring book. These are for Kathy.
Oh, I want a notebook like that. I'll trade you, Kathy. I'll give you my field notes.
All right. So those, I'll put those aside, put a sticky on them, say Kathy. And then Kathy, give me a number 1 through 50 if you haven't already.
It's still crazy to me that we have 50 people on our Crusaders Club.
Yes,
really
that's
cool.
awesome.
We have 51. Actually, just one person doesn't know that they're that they've switched credit cards and they just need to update it. But I know that person pretty well personally, so I'll just let them know. Delvin, you know him too, so you can. Kathy says 18. I'm just going to scroll without looking, pick a random spot, and
sometimes I think that you never
4, 5, 6, 7,
understand
8,
me.
9, 10. Oh, we got to go back to the top 17, 18. It is recent addition and recovering friend of the show, and I hope he's still recovering well. It is Steve Martin.
Oh,
And Steve
awesome.
Martin loves him some G.I. Joe.
Yay, Steve.
So we're going to send Steve Lady J.
Oh, awesome.
Woo! Woo! That's Steve Martin. I got my sticky notes out to write Kathy Bright to put on these things, and then she said in the chat, we started talking about 51 followers, and I just wrote 51. That's not her name. That's not her name. My brain doesn't work right, y'all. All right.
You better not ever be like a star of Memento. Like you wake up like 51. What the fuck does that mean?
If I was in Memento, the movie would be like 3 minutes long. I'd wake up these tattoos like I don't know. I got nothing. Oh Lord, help me! All right, Steve.
Like I'm going to draw, like, and you're sitting there drawing all peacefully, like the Empire State Building is blowing up.
All I got, boys. All I got.
Oh man.
Okay, quick peek ahead of what we've got coming up, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody. I mentioned it at the front. If you want to be part of our live recording on Wednesday, we're doing our GI Joes. We do 2 at a time. We're going to be covering America's Elite 11 and Special Missions 11 on Wednesday night, starting at 9 p.m. Central. That'll be Pat and I doing that show. That is for Crusaders Club members only. It's one of the benefits. So if you're not a Crusaders Club member and you thought, I would like to do more of these live streams, and at 99 cents a month, or maybe $1. Does it have to be $1 or is it 99 cents? I can't remember. Let's say $1. For $1 a month.
But yeah.
Come on, then. We'd love to have you. And guess what? And I've mentioned this before, but I want to mention it again. We put the link out. It's an unlisted link. If you're a Crusaders Club member and you want to invite someone who's not and just send them the link, that's totally cool with us. Like we're like crack dealers, giving away for free, right? So,
but no heroin.
Right? So like if we send you the link and you go, hey, I got a GI Joe friend who's not a club member, but he might like to check out this live recording, send it to him. Totally cool with us. Not a problem. Not a problem. One of the benefits of being club members, you can share the link. All right, so that's Wednesday night, starting at 9 p.m. America's Elite 11, Special Missions 11. We're also going to do a quick coverage of the 25-cent Hunt for Cobra Commander because it was on the shelf at the same time as America's Elite 11. Thursday night, Jason and I will be on Action Film Face Off. Pat will be our special sniper for that one. We're going to be talking about one of the original blaxploitation films, Cotton Comes to Harlem, and it's going up against Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins. So a couple of really cool movies we're going to be talking about on Thursday. And next week, we're going to have another Wednesday night Crusaders Club member only live recording where we're going to be doing Spider-Man Chronicles. We're going to be covering, I know it's Spidey 234. I don't think the votes are in yet.
Not yet. That'll be going out for the club members. So get your chance in now. Join right now so you can get in on that vote.
Yes, indeed. So that's so this Wednesday is G.I. Joe. The next Wednesday is Amazing Spider-Man Chronicles. And guess what? The Wednesday after that, we have another one for our club members. Just how the calendar's working out for you guys. Every Wednesday this month and the first Wednesday in October, we're going to be doing Saturday Matinee Theater on Wednesday, October the 1st. So, and if you want to prep for that, it's Zorro Rides Again. Zorro Rides Again, Chapter 8, Plunge of Peril.
Oh, yeah. So it's a good one that we just covered. We just released Zorro yesterday.
Yeah, we just released 7, I think.
I've got to listen to that one.
Zorro.
It was good. I listened to it on my walk the other day. It was very good. So that's what we have coming up. Jason Keene says, vote for Ghost Rider. I don't even know if he's a contender, but if he beats X-Men.
He is. Then that's thanks to you giving me that big Ghost Rider.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I don't need to be I'm just doing that there we go. I think that is it for our live stream today. Lots of fun, lots of coolness in the chat.
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching us. We had a big high count of watchers, viewers, so we really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Anything left for where you gonna act froze?
Let's act frozen. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.